Hello. Hello. I don't know if anyone's live out there, but can you let me know if in the chat just if I am running live on this and audio is working? I've had a few audio issues this morning. Anyway, I'll just keep going. So I think audio is working now. Let me know in the chat anyway. Okay, where were we? Okay, well, it did the bounce off there. That would have been nice getting in there, but it was just I could have got in there, but the idea of my trade, as I was explaining earlier to myself, basically, because audio wasn't working, so I was telling the world, but not really. I was telling me, but these are the areas I like to trade off, which is the historical levels, the points of interest from the previous day. So the previous day value high. This is where Friday, New York session. I'm in Southeast Asia, so the New York session starts 9:30 a.m. obviously in New York, but 9:30 p.m. here in Southeast Asia. So this is where the high values of that session are sitting. So this is the area that I'm interested in monitoring and using for setting my trades. The ideal trade for today would have been, well, for me anyway, would have been this one here. So you set a long, but I was piss-farting around off the stream, like I just wasted a bit of time there. Would have been this entry. Here. So entry off here, I probably would have been looking at maybe that one there, going in for a long. And as I was stating in my earlier, I've built myself also a chat a AI app, which I've thrown in 2 years worth of 1 minute candles, all on the NAS 100, and I've got that set as an app I run daily, just as my roadmap for the day, which I can update throughout the day. But I like using it just a bit of a confluence with how I'm thinking, and it basically said the same thing. Long from the previous day value high with acceptance. So the acceptance came on these candles here, for me anyway. But I didn't get in that trade, so no use talking about that. So my secondary chance at an entry is at this level here, which is what this is measuring or painting out there is the orb for the 5 minute Australia pre-Asia, 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. New York, 7 a.m. Southeast Asia my time, and monitoring what happens at open. So I don't trade it as a traditional orb, which is trade to breakout. So when strength breaks out of up or down, I don't trade it that way. I trade it using this as a visual for my setups. And my setup for this would have been, and I think I've okay. So my setup would have been 30445. Yeah, so there. So just after 50 ticks or so, at a 1-to-1 reward ratio. So I was expecting, because what it often does with the orb is just drop out to get all the retailers and just manipulate the market a bit, get out, break the orb, because I think people still do trade the orb. I don't actually know anyone that trades the orb for Asia and London sessions. They mainly use it for New York, which is fine. I just use it just as points of interest visually for me. I use it for trading a take profit. So if I entered a trade here, I would take profit at the midpoint, or if there's enough enough volume or enough of a range, I'll target it using that rather than the breakout, because the breakout gets so manipulated. I'm always on the other end of it, so I don't even bother trading the breakout as such anymore, but I do use it to guide me, because if there's a volume and time period where the market is underneath the orb, that's a different matter. That, that's telling you the direction of the market at that point. But just purely for getting into trades and out of trades, I trade it this way. So it was just a bit too risky using because I want to use this as an entry or a stop loss or a take profit. So I couldn't, because the market had already moved through this range, I couldn't, I'm not waiting for a touch back down here, but I will use it as a level where I can set a take profit. So if I can get my take profit under here, then that gives me a bit of confidence that the trade won't reach the stop loss, if that makes sense. So it's really just creating, in my mind, a confidence level in a trade, which is what trading is about, really, I think. Be confident with your trade. So I was targeting a little dip out of the orb, which it often does. And I still had my confidence level here, but I wanted it getting down a bit lower, which it didn't do. It hit the base, and that probably would have been good, but I just wanted a bit more buffer, because quite often it comes down here, hits the market comes down, doesn't exactly hit these points. They're just points of interest, but quite often it does actually hit it and bounce straight off. But I just wanted a bit more buffer, so I was hoping the market might just do a bit of a little mini breakout, and if it did hit and go down, I've still got a bit of cover there. So that was the idea of the market. But in hindsight, it would have been good being in here with that trade, because that's 28 points. So that would have been a good starting trade, but that's all right. And then I discovered my stream didn't have audio, so I've been mucking around, so I had no chance of getting in that one anyway. Now, I'm still okay with this trade, just to continue on with that, I'm still okay with this trade. I think I've got that at 44, 45, 45, 75. Because we haven't broken the orb up here. So that's the other reason I like having the orb there, because it just gives me a visual area to play with, a visual range to play with. So as soon as this breaks this, which I think it could, one of the last chats on that last session before I killed it was, do I think it will break Asia? Will the Asia session break all-time highs from last week, which is 534? And it could. To answer the question, it could easily come up to sweep this level, but I think ultimately at some point in this, it'll hit its high, whatever the high range is. This might be the high. I suspect it might be up here, but if not, I think what it will do is go down after it's hit the whatever its high is, whatever its high is for the day. It will then come down and test these ranges and sweep down the lows down here. It's got to here. It's funny how it went to the overnight value high and then bounced up. So I think it will come down and sweep these levels at some point in the Asian session before the London session. Don't hold me accountable to that, but that's how I'm sort of planning the day. Okay. So we shall see. Yeah, I don't know if I've got anyone on this stream anymore. But we shall see. Okay, Preston. Wow. The question of the day. Any advice for someone trying to pass an eval? My friend, that's the $1 million question. Everyone wants to know the answer to that. To be honest, I go in. I'm using Apex as my prop firm. Just purely, I'm the same as you, like everyone else. We're all trying to trade and pass evals. I'm trying to pass evals at the moment myself. I've got 3 Apex accounts, 3 50k Apex accounts, and I'm trading one 150k. So I'm copy trading 4 accounts. If you can see that, I'm copy trading 4. Just got some brand newish sort of accounts at the moment. Look. This is not financial advice, but I go in reasonably hard with evals. So Apex are the cheapest to get into at the start. So I like Apex for that. I think these are $39 to get in. So I'll go through a few accounts. I'm happy to say that. I'll go through a few eval accounts, and I'll hit them pretty heavy. I only trade the NQ, so I trade minis. So I'll trade 1, 2, 3, just depending on the on my confidence level in the trade, and try and get them done in a week. Now these accounts are I've had these going for a week and a bit, and I drew right down pretty low. I had a drawdown. I think I got down to 49,300. No, it was actually under. It was 49,100, I think. So I hit them pretty hard, and trade them reasonably hard to pass. So once I've got funded, I'll go into MNQs and trade them a bit with a bit less risk. But at the start, I hit them pretty hard. Long answer. It's just, you just got to stick at it, keep at it. If you've got a strategy, just stick to your strategy. Your strategy probably works. It's just if you're getting in the right times or whatever, that's another story. But Preston, my friends, I got lucky and passed 100k eval. Woohoo! But now I'm struggling with Traderify. At the moment, I have 50k select. Yeah, look, it's the same theory. I don't know Bullinox. Traderify, that's actually another one I will look at. Getting some accounts with, actually. I haven't got around to doing all that yet. But that's good. So how'd you go with the Bullinox one? Did you get any take profits on that? It's all mind games, my friend. Trading is all about mind games. It's relatively easy, I find anyway, relatively easy to pass the evals. It's the next part in, once you've funded, is just getting that buffer and then taking some profits from there. So Apex, I'm working with at the moment for a couple of different reasons, but well, I may as well tell you the reasons. I'm living between Australia and Southeast Asia at the moment, and here in Southeast Asia, where I am, I can't use my favourite ones, which is Lucid and Take Profit Trader. I was using those in Australia fine, but as soon as I got here, I was unable. They banned. I'm living in the Philippines at the moment in Manila, and they banned the Philippines, which is a pain in the ass. So I've started using Apex as my prop firm, which is pretty good because I can copy trade up to 20 accounts with Apex, so I can do a bit of damage there. But that's all part of it. That's part of trading. It's all mind games, and that's how prop firms make money, because they know 95% of people are going to blow their. One, they won't even get funded. Two, they'll blow the buffer stage, setting the buffer. And three, they might only get one or two payouts, and that's it. So it's the game we play in. But once you've got it working, this is why I like copy trading. I know everyone says don't copy trade. But I copy trade, up to 5 accounts at a time. Because once you do hit, you hit, and you've got 5 accounts. And then once you've got the accounts, and you take a bit of risk off, I find it's easier to trade, copy trade, just take small base hits, and I'll lower down from the NQ minis. I'll start doing E minis. Sorry, micros. Once I'm funded. So long asked answer, but yeah. So do you like Tradeify, Preston? If you're still around, I will have to look at him because I think I can trade Tradeify here in Southeast Asia. So I might look at them again. Yeah, what's going on here? So, like I was saying earlier, for anyone new, I am, whilst we're still within this orb. Now, the orb, what is the orb? For people who just joined, this is just my weird little way of trading. So, not suggesting anyone copies me, but this is just how I trade. Whilst we're still in this and we haven't broken out of the orb, either direction, my original plan, which is this long, just under what is that, 445. I'm trading this back into the orb, and depending on how it hits out here, I might even buy another contract. I've got one contract at the moment ready to go. I'll trade that, and I'll probably try, if it comes right down here, I might do another contract around 439, so I'll have 2 contracts in with the hope of trading back into the orb. Probably confusing everyone, but this is how I trade. Take profit early. I'll take profit around here, and I'll keep one contract open to trade up to here at least. So hopefully I have 2 contracts in this trade, but we shall see. Sorry, I'm a bit behind on the chat here. Bullinox allows up to 11 accounts. Okay, that's good. I'm going to activate next month's and cost 248 for 100k. Okay, hang on. So 248. Anyway, okay. Also, Tradeify has 1-day pass, which would be good for you because you can pass. Yeah, we'll look at Tradeify. Thanks for that. I'll put that. Actually, I'll make it a little note. I need another. Look, I'm okay with Apex at the moment because, as I said, I've got 20 up to 20 accounts I can 20 funded accounts I can trade. So that's good. So if they accept us little Filipinos, well, I'm Australian, but I'm living in Philippines. I will have a look at them. Now, guys, I'm reason why I'm streaming. I'm not really here to make money, so I'm not going to be selling courses or anything like that. I've been in. Okay, I'll tell you my whole story. Does anyone want to hear my whole story, or while we're waiting for this stupid bloody trade to come to us? Basically, I've been in crypto since 2017, so feels like forever in crypto. And I trade mainly BTC. Normally, that is what I day trade, and I've been doing that for 3 years. Trading full-time crypto 3 years, the last 3 years. But I had last year, I liquidated my account on a stupid trade, a bad trade, which was silly. And I thought, and that's using my own money. So I was trading BTC only for trading, but I've got other investments with crypto, still have. And I thought, look, I want to become a real trader and not just do crypto. So I've started since November last year. I've been doing prop firms. So I was doing pretty well when I was in Australia. I was doing. So when was that? That was November-ish. I was doing okay with Lucid and Take Profit Trader. They were probably my preferred prop firms to use, which was all good. But because I've now moved over here, just short term, I'm living in between. But for now, I'm in Philippines. I can only use Apex, so I do want another prop firm to use. I was going with a story there. I can't remember what it was. Yeah, so I basically decided I want to have another pillar of income, so I'm going to do, and I love trading, so I've changed my strategy up a bit from crypto. I'm doing a bit different in BTC. At some point, I will bring BTC into this. If I keep doing this live stream, I'll bring it into how I trade here. But for now, I'm just going to stick to prop firms and NAS, maybe gold, just on this stream, on this channel. But if I can get, I think there probably are a couple of prop firms that do eval, as set up like a prop firm for crypto, which I might bring that in at some point when I get around to it. Just got to pass a few of these friggin' Apex accounts. I had 5 last week and I bloody blew the account. So again, okay, so see how we've now broken out of the orb, this 15-minute orb? I will take this trade off the table.
Order cancelled.
My ID is broken, so I'll have to look for the next entry, which might still be this, but I won't just set buy limits on that. I'll monitor the reaction if it comes back and breaks the orb down below here now, because that was my. How do I explain this? When I was building this idea for this trade, my idea was basically outside the orb on the downside, or just here, which in hindsight would have been the preferred one, to break this orb level up here. So in my eyes, that was the trade. So that trade has sort of broken down. So my plan has to change with it. It might still be the same trade, like a long from down here, but I want to watch the reaction now, because that could have been the high. That could be the highest point that Asia trades, if that makes sense. I think it might still go all-time highs for what it's worth. But we shall see. So anyway, so it's like I was saying before, it's all about confidence. Confidence in your trade. So my confidence level is pretty strong here. I was hoping to get in 2 entries and target up here, but that sort of has been, so I've just got to reevaluate it. So it might still be the same trade, but I'm going to reevaluate that. And when I say reevaluate, I'm basically still a little bit biased on the long. When it does its thing up here and goes as high as what it wants to go, I think I'm looking for the market to come down here. So if it comes streaming down pretty heavy, I'll probably be looking at what it does here at the previous day value high levels. And depending on what it does here at this exact point will determine if I'm actually going to long or even short and target the previous day point of control, which is, so that's 31 points. So I don't know if that sort of makes sense. So at this level is where I judge if I'm gonna look for a short entry or look for a continuation long back up. And at the moment we're still outside the just building a bit of structure outside the orb. So if it starts building volume here outside the orb, I would suspect we are going longer. But this is NAS. It will try and trick the hell out of you. Well, trick the hell out of me anyway. So it's not really the best idea having too much bias in the market for longs or shorts. But I like to have them just for my own, it basically just gives me a bit of awareness where to set up my next trade anyway. So my plan could fall over straight away and change straight away, but so be it. Now it's going to be a little bit boring if we don't get a bit of bearish direction here, because I don't want to trade up here. Like, the reason why, I think that's what I started to say before. The reason why I have set up a stream is to straighten me up a bit. I tend to over-trade a bit. So I figured if I go live, I'll try and stick to my strategy a bit tighter and not get in as many trades. That's the plan anyway. So I won't actually trade anywhere really up here. That's just, we're in the all-time highs for starters. We have got some we've got some levels that we can target up here, but that's not what I'm going to trade. I'm more interested in waiting, sitting out, even though I'm doing evals, I'm more interested in waiting for the right trading opportunities. And these areas here are, I don't even know if you can see my cursor there, but these areas here are where I want to trade. Like the previous day value high, the previous day POC level. I'm more interested in trading off those points than up here. Even though I'm reasonably confident that we might break this at least. We shall see. So what am I actually trading? What's my strategy? I said it before, but got a few newies. Preston, do you only trade mini or do you trade micros? Preston, what I was saying earlier is for the evals, I primarily only trade the minis. But once I do get some funded accounts, so my funded accounts, I'll probably drop down to micros. Just take a bit of risk off the table. And it gives me, like, rather than trading one whole mini when I'm not totally confident, because I'm copy trading as well. I'm copy trading at least 3, 4, 5 accounts at the same time. I'll take a little bit of risk off, so I'll trade the micros then. What about yourself? You only trade minis, or you only trade the micros? All right, so here we go. So we did. Everyone bags the old bull flag, but it just visually it just seems to work every friggin' time with NAS. It does with BTC as well, I must admit. Just very technical. So when I see that structure, I always it's always in the back of my mind, well, it's not finished yet, so always a good sign. if you want longs. I actually wanted to come down at the moment because I'm not trading up here, but it's good if you're on the right side of it anyway. Preston. Micros mainly, but nearly going to blow my accounts. Got like 400 left. That's okay. That's all right. You still got to, as I don't know if I was saying before, but on these accounts, I was down, I think I was down to 148. 148. What's it? I was down to 48,900. So that's only 500 difference. So don't give up, my friend. So I got it back up. I got these back up. I actually got these back up to 5,900 on live, I think. But I did take a hit on Friday. So even these, I still kind of trade conservatively, even with the minis. Yeah, but I was that's why I've built this live stream, not to make money out of you guys. No intentions of doing that. It's just so I can straighten myself up with my own trades. So I figured because I overtrade too much. I would have been trading off here. I would have been trading off this orb level. And look, today I might have done all right, but tomorrow, who knows? So I've got my strict little strategy that I stick to now. And That's why that's why I'm trading that. Preston, 152 left. Okay, that makes it a bit harder. If you got 400 though, you can still, like, if the way I trade, I only trade little base hits, 50 ticks, so that's 12, what's that, 12.5 points, and that's only 250. So I've got nearly two of those sort of trades left in me. It's not just about, it's about taking the right trade, obviously, but also the risk management. So if you had 400 left, just try and only lose 200. That's two trades. So you know what I mean? So you got two dibs at it. But good luck, my friend. You've still got a chance. All right. Are we? Oh, we are. So we've just okay. So now we've just, Tokyo's just open, and that was the other thing. I don't want to trade on the hour candle. I want to wait to see what Tokyo does or what Australia / pre-Asia does before I get into the trades as well. So here we go with Asia's gone all hot. So we've got the 5-minute orb for Asia. And we've already broken out. Ooh, keep that thought. I've got someone at my condo. You watch the trades for me, guys. Hang on. Hello. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I'll come down. Thank you. Sorry, back, guys. Just had a food delivery, which I might have to run down and grab. Yeah, so again, Tokyo opens pretty strong. And it likes to do, I never trust the orb sort of first move. It always tries to, not always, but I'm just saying it does tend to try and trick the market and get us retailers in thinking, oh, we're going long here, let's get in long, and then it whipsaws down. So takes out people's stop losses, and that's the liquidity that the market, Mr. Market Maker or Mrs. Market Maker, whoever they are, will use to do what it really wants to do. Where are you? 150 left. Yeah, gee, and we've all been there, Preston. Don't worry. Yes, magic. How much are the this is Traderify, is it, or Balloonnox? I can't remember what you said now. How much are the Traderify accounts, the 50K accounts? Because these Apex are 30, they're only 39, which sounds really good and great, and they are. I've got a bit more confident in just going a bit harder because they're only 39. But when you do pass them, I think they're about $100 activation fee. So take that into account with Apex. $99, then reset for 50K. Sorry, 99, then 95 reset. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Actually, I might look at that now. I'm just seeing, I was saying before, guys, that I'm in I'm in Southeast Asia, and they just took away. Well, I don't know if it was took away, but when I first came here 6 months ago, they banned the Philippines, where I'm currently living, for Take Profit Trader and Lucid, the accounts I was using in Australia. So just want to see. All right, so here we go. We're looking at testing that high we just got at Tokyo Open. Prop firms. Sorry, I have to use my other laptop here. Apex, Top Step, Tradeify, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll have a look at Tradeify. Now, as I was saying, I'm not probably going to be trying to make money out of you guys. But where I can, I've just asked Apex for some codes so you guys can get full discounts. And hopefully I get a few accounts that I can give away to you guys. So I'll see what Apex. I've bought a few through Apex, so they bloody better give me some. All right, let's see. Are we going to get an opportunity to trade? So I've set my orbs up for 5-minute Tokyo, which is 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. New York time, or 8 a.m. Southeast Asia time. The 7 a.m. my time, 7 p.m. you guys, or New York, and 9 o'clock. I'll also check on the 9 o'clock hourly candle as well, which is basically, I think it's when China, Hong Kong, all of them open. So I just call it China open. Maybe it's called something else, but that's what I call it. Sorry, Preston, you have intraday, end of day. I'm doing the end of day ones with Apex. So where are you, Preston? What part of the world are you located? All right, so see, now we're building a bit of structure up here. This is where I don't use, I don't know how much you guys have sort of listened to how I trade, but I use the volume profile as my main strategy in concurrence with the orbs. But this is so from 6 a.m. my time, 6 p.m. your time. This is the current session. So the current Asia, current Globex session. So see how it's building structure now. So we've got our main structure down here. I won't use these yet until probably around London. It's still developing. It's still new. So whilst the data is relevant to look at, I don't use it to trade from yet. But London, I might even do a London session, because this is looking like I'm not going to really get too many trades in on live here. This structure is building now. So what this is just telling you is that the volume in trades are being occurring up at these levels. So you'll watch if it breaks down here, it'll tend to go straight through here really quick, and maybe even straight through to this area, because there's not much activity here, so there's nothing holding it up, so it'll just probably go straight through. There's a little bit of a node there that's sort of so there's it might get a bit of a reaction here, but it might just go straight through, if that makes sense. UK. What time is it there? Geez, you're early. Oh. Yeah, I'm hopeless. Oh my God, I get confused with time zones. 1 a.m. My friend. Are you still alive in that with that 152 left on that account? Yeah, so I was just saying that I will try and towards London, I'll then start looking on these on this session and trade from these. I'll have a bit more confidence in trading from these levels, but for now it's still too new. Yes, 115. Yeah, that's what it's like for me if I decide to trade the New York session. I don't trade the New York session much. I need my sleep. I'm getting old. So if this developing profile setup was going if it was a bit older, because we're only like 3 hours, and I was using orb levels so don't take these as trades. I'm just saying how my mind works. I could look at longs from these levels. These little blue shaded bits of fair value gaps. Because I think we're still going to go higher, personally. Don't quote me, and it could just dump straight away. But I think we've still got a bit of oomph left in this. Oh, hang on. Yeah, so I think that is that's the all-time high. So because we're so close, it just leads me to think that we will target this, at least sweep it. So, okay, that's interesting. What am I doing? $22 points. Okay. So I was explaining earlier, I didn't realize we got there so quick, but when someone asked before, am I looking at trading or is Asia looking at taking the all-time highs? That was sort of down here, and I suspected it might, but because what Asia tends to do a lot of the time is take the highs, whatever that highs is, it'll take the highs, and then start to look at coming down and actually sweeping lows. So it likes to do both, and it tends to be technical. Asia. That's why I actually like trading the Asia Globex sessions. So my plan, and this may or may not happen because it could just fly off and keep going high and creating much higher highs, much higher all-time highs, is for it to do what it wants to do up here at the highs and then come and target back down here to previous day POC, the overnight POC, and maybe even get down to the value, the previous week value highs before London. And that is, so let's, what is that? That's 200 points. Maybe not that far. I don't know. Who knows? But anyway, that's my plan, to sort of target down here. And the first step will be this this previous day value high again, and in turn this previous day POC. But I don't know if I'm going to get any action myself. This is my old self. I would have been targeting that fair value gap that was sitting here with a stop loss. With a stop loss sort of underneath that mid-level orb. Preferably, even better would be under that, which is the 5-minute Australia pre-Asia Open. So all I'm building there is a case. I'm just trying my guts to work out how I can get into a trade, if that makes sense. So these levels usually are reaction points. So I like using those, and obviously my previous day levels and overnight levels for setting up the entry, the stop losses, and take profit. So take profit underneath that high. So it might not hit and break out above again, but it will try and test that to try and manipulate the market. Well, that's how I read it anyway. All right, so that could have been okay if I had the balls to get into that one. So AJ, which is me, AJ would have overtraded here, and I would have been in these trades. I would have had a bloody good day today. But hindsight is a beautiful thing. And Mr. AJ is trying to be stronger, trying to be more disciplined. Yes, barely. So what's the plan, Preston? To buy some more accounts, or I'll give it a break for a bit, which makes sense. It's always good to step back, and if you blow a few accounts. Wow, what a market. What a market. So just from open, it's moved 167 points. And they say Asia's got no volume. That's not a bad move though. Like Asia, I know, does range trade, very choppy sometimes. That moved choppy here. Oh, it did move. Did make its move. That was Friday, wasn't it? Friday did all right. Thursday. Ugh. Thursday was bad. Looking at that, how could I fuck up bloody Thursday? But I did. Can't remember. Anyway, we are on Monday though. Start of a new week. So this is that chop fest, yeah, that sort of stuff. So the opening range was 28 points and just stuck in that from woe to go, basically until New York. Not New York, Tokyo. If anyone's still around, can someone just chuck in chat? How far behind is the session? I've got on the totally lowest latency between going live and YouTube, but if anyone's around, just chuck in how many, like, am I a candle, 2 candles? I'm on the 1 minute, obviously. It's all time high. Change that. So close, and yet so far. I think at some point it'll take out this. It'll at least sweep up here, surely. So what strategy do all you guys use? You ICT fans or? Everyone in NAS seems to be ICT. I trade my crypto, my BTC totally different than this, the way I'm doing NAS, but I'm confident with doing this. I've had some payouts with, like, I'm only reasonably new to NAS, but I've been trading full time with crypto for 3 years. So, and I'm still trading crypto. Just day trading. Oh, did we take it out? Teasing that all-time high. So there's enough range there between the orb and that all-time high to effectively take a chance at it. Bit more risk than I would have taken with it. So basically 100. There we go. So it's taken it. All-time high, everyone. Congratulations, world. Now what's it going to do? Dump? Dump will really take off. Like, it wasn't a convincing candle above, so... But is Mr. Market Maker just setting up a little bit of liquidity up here because he wants to run up a bit and then take a dump. So try and catch some people who have probably had their stop losses above the all-time high. That's what Mr. Market Maker likes to do. And that's what we want it to do, because that's basically how the market moves, and that's how we get to the points of interest where we want to trade. And for me, I need a bit of a dump off here at some point to get back down here. Otherwise, it's going to be a very boring day for the Pacific Edge, which is me. Yeah, so sorry guys, not exactly exciting viewing here. And plus, I don't know what happened, but the audio was stuffed on my earlier, when I went live at 6:45. So I had to restart the stream. And I still don't even know what happened there, which is a bit of a pain in the ass. It's got... So you would have to think, where is it going here? No idea. The only thing you really got to go off is psychology, the psychological entry areas on the chart. So at all 100 levels, so 3600 could be targeting that sort of area. But wow, that's some decent move. Today in the Globex range. All right, so I've got a reasonable pullback here. To be honest, there's no severe, like how big's that candle? 534, that's 14 points. Because what you seem to see is when it hits like an all-time high like that, there's a huge dumpage. So it's taken out a lot of the liquidity that has been set up here for stop losses and whatever at the highs. Where's the highs? At that level. So there's still buyers in the market here. So our session, there's still a lot of value sitting up here. Because it's sort of just continuing on what I was saying before. What you what you can usually see is a huge 1 minute candle that takes off, goes down. Shit, it's one thing not showing on my market, on my... Yeah, which is... why is that not showing? Is this... I've just got this as well. Just to go over what I've got on my chart. Actually, I'll go over the whole thing maybe. I've just got the 200 EMA or SMA, which is way down here, the red one. I've got the 50, and I've got the VWAP. So those the volume average is the VWAP. That I do use a little bit to use as a trade guideline for setting up entries and take profits. Not so much for entering off, like any of my stuff on my my chart. It's only the historical, these areas, the previous day value highs, the previous day POC session, volume profile session. They're the things I use to ultimately trade from. But I use these as little guidances. Fair value gaps I use a little bit. But also I like looking at knowing from the candles, these volume candles, which is the advanced volume indicator, just for the volume sizing. So see these coloured candles. That's intimating to me that the market makers are in here, because these are not just normal grey candles with just us retail investors. These are the bigger players that are in the market. So where you see these candles, you know that the market makers in. So at this candle here, and what I like to do is just see what the actual candle is. Is it a bullish candle or is it a bearish candle? So this first orange one is a bullish green, and what Mr. Market Maker, I like to call him, or her, is looking at doing is just suckering the market into, okay, we're going long, so it'll throw in a trade like this, but ultimately use that and go the opposite way for a direction down. So you can see that occurring. So I just watch that for that, knowing that it's putting in its entry points. And to be honest, these market makers, they're not really, they're already in the market. So wherever that market's going, they're already in this, without doubt. So they like to use their forced direction candles or trades, entries, whatever, to push the market in the direction they want it to go. Obviously, that's how they get paid. So sometimes, like if it hits that really high, you'll see it shoot right down, and that's indication that, okay, it's taken all its profit and it's out of the market, and or it's actually just forcing that market down for its next move. That's what it's ultimately doing. So who knows how high it's going. But what I'm trying to get at is I haven't seen that huge dump candle to suggest that we're looking bearish and going down to my levels that I want it to go down. I've got no control, obviously. My little one contract or two contract buys, sells. So, yeah, so I might come back at London time if anyone's for the London Open, 2 p.m. my time, which is 2 a.m. New York. Obviously, won't be too many New York crazies out and about then, I would suggest. And we shall see where we go. So look, I might not wait till the China Open. I might get out now. Hopefully you guys are a bit more switched on than me and got some trades in there, because that was looking pretty bullish from here, wasn't it? But I missed the whole move, which is frustrating as hell, but what do you do? Anyway, so I might leave it there, guys. Nice chatting. Hopefully you got something out of it. You probably didn't because you saw nothing, but hopefully you guys can make some money. Sorry, I'm just waiting to see. I just want to see if it does go higher. I'll just wait these next couple of candles. And China opens in 20 minutes. Well, the rest of Asia opens in 20 minutes. So it'll be interesting if it does keep going higher or we start to see a bit of a pullback. One red candle and I'm gone. Where's my timer gone? I'll drop that. Dale, where's my timer? No, don't know. Anyway, okay. So, and as you notice, where that area was building before, that's now the new POC. So there's a fair bit of value sitting up here at this level. Oh no, sorry. That's my stupid all-time high. Don't worry. Ignore what I said. POC is still down here for the Asia session. So the value high has moved up to here now of this session. That would have been a nice little trade too. But did it come back to there? No, so it came back to there. Yeah, actually, I wouldn't have got into probably there. Yeah, that's done. I wouldn't have probably taken. No, maybe. Because I was pretty convinced on it going to the all-time high. It depends. I can't remember what that figure was now. To be honest, I might not have got in that trade. Unless I went in there. Maybe. Who knows? I didn't take it, so it doesn't count. Yeah, because we hadn't hit the all-time high at that point. That was my target, so I might have taken that trade because there was a fair value gap there. But I would have done something like this. Oh yeah, because I was talking about that, wasn't I? Just have it underneath the Australian pre-Asian Open. Whatever. Anyway, it does look like it does want to go higher. So sorry, I just want to see this. I just want to see it break or just come back. I might get a double top here off the value session, current Globex volume profile session, bounce off. On Friday, I wasn't thinking this week we would go to all-time highs and break because that went right down, didn't it? From memory, it went right down. Sheesh. Look at that. 269. 300 points. But it's done it pretty easily and pretty early. Anyway, I won't bore you guys. Good luck to everyone. Good luck to everyone who's trading still. If anyone's around, check me out if I'm going live at London. If you can put up with my nasally voice. I've got a bit of a cold, plus it's a bad Aussie accent anyway. And we might see each other on the other side. All right, guys. Have a good day, good night, good evening, wherever you guys are. And we'll check you next time.